So I'm challenging the phrase mum to be. Why do we use the phrase mum to be? Now, this could end up being a bit of a hot potato video, and there's probably going to be a lot of opinions and thoughts, and everyone is valid. That's all valid. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, have the right to say and feel what they feel. And there are a myriad of different subjects around the subject of motherhood. So I'm going to start right from the bat before everybody gets on their keyboards and their phones and starts typing comments, which you're perfectly entitled to do, of course, is your right. But to just caveat it by saying that this is not talking about other aspects of motherhood. This is not in reference to the wider subject matter. This is coming from, first and foremost, my personal experience, my personal belief system, my thoughts and feelings on this subject as to why we use the term mum to be. And I'm going to give you the backstory just as to why this has come about for me to need to speak to this today. I'm ill with shingles, I'm in my scruffy clothes, no filter or anything. I've just needed to jump on and share this with you all. So I'm moving through, and if you've watched some of my videos recently, you'll know this, baby loss grief. Not current, but specifically around my miscarriage 37 years ago. And if you want to understand the backstory and know more about all of that, please go and drop on and watch my baby loss videos, because it will obviously make more sense. But it's a very emotional time for me, because that's grief that was locked away and buried that's now come to the surface. And as that snake year has ended, shedding release, and we've moved into the year of the horse, that needed to go. And I'm currently in that place. And I'm also ill with shingles, which I believe is a physical manifestation of that emotional process. So I've been doing a womb healing purely for myself this morning, and a message came through really clearly to validate the fact that those babies, because I suffered miscarriage twice, that the grief is predominantly around my first miscarriage. Again, reasons that you will understand if you watch the other videos. I only carried those babies in my womb for 9 weeks, respectively, many years ago. But the message came through so clear from Spirit. I am a mum. I have 2 beautiful grown-up children. I am a mum to 4 children. Just because, for whatever reason, my 2 first babies were not meant for this earth, I believe, I feel, I birthed them into an energetic space. Obviously, you may feel differently about that subject matter, which is your right. Doesn't take away the fact that I was a mum. And in addition to that, in previous days, I've been thinking about getting a card, because it's Mother's Day in March here in the UK, because my son and his partner are expecting their first child together in the spring. And I thought I would love to get her a card for Mother's Day. And then had the thought, I don't know whether I've ever seen, do they do mum to be cards? And in that moment, there was this mic drop, this realization of, but she's already a mum. So why would it be a mum to be card? Because she's already a mum. And I thought, wow, I've never thought before this moment about why we have that phrase. And I looked up the definition of being a mum, and one of the fundamental elements of it was nurturing and caring for life, which is why that mum role, that mum title, is adopted and used even when it's not a biological situation, because it's nurturing and caring for life. Well, when I was pregnant with my 2 babies, I was nurturing biologically. My womb, my body was doing its natural nurturing process for 9 weeks. From the moment I conceived my babies, all of my children we became parents. We gave life. And that creation of life began in my womb, in my body. What a fucking miracle is that? So I was nurturing those babies for 9 weeks before their path was chosen to be elsewhere. I didn't get the privilege of giving birth to them, physically giving birth into this physical world with those first 2 babies. My son and my daughter that was not their path. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I am still their mum. So we use this term mum to be, which is basically saying that until you birth the baby into the physical world, then you become a mum. On what planet does that make any sense? What the hell are we doing for those 9 months or however many weeks, months, hours, moments from conception? What is it we're actually doing? We are growing and nurturing that child in our womb, which is the very definition of being a mother. So why is that dismissed? Why for those of us that have lost a baby and not taken it to the point of birthing it into the world, whether it takes a breath or it doesn't, we're still mums. So why is that being dismissed? Why is the term mum to be being used? Why is a pregnant woman growing and nurturing that child in her womb saying, I'm a mum to be, or being called a mum to be, or us when we've lost a baby saying, I would have been a mum, but I never got to give birth because my baby died. You are a mum. However long that child lived from conception, in your womb you were nurturing it and growing it. To me, in my opinion, and the definition of what I've looked up this morning, that makes you a mum. If you choose to take that role, if you choose to want that, there are women out there that have lost a child and never been able to have another child. And maybe that weighs really heavy on you because you think, I would have loved to have been a mum. Well, for me, you are. You are and always will be for the time that baby had life in your womb. And I appreciate that there's going to be people jumping on now going, oh, what about surrogates? What about people who can't, naturally grow their children in their womb and use a surrogate? What about other methods? What about this? What about that? What about women who conceived and it wasn't consensual? It was enforced upon them. I respect all of those situations, but that's not what I'm talking about here. All of you women, or women full stop, have the right to decide what that means to them, whatever their circumstances. The women that get pregnant and choose not to continue with it, you're right. And again, that's a hot potato issue. But it's your right to decide what you feel and think and what role you want to give yourself. But for those of us who have not been able to physically birth a baby into the world, who want to take on the mantle and the role and the title of, well, I'm a mum. Not a mum to be, not I would have been a mum. You are a mum. And if that gives you comfort, then fantastic. That means a lot to know that maybe me saying that makes you go, oh, do you know what? Yeah, you're right. I've never thought about it like that. And wow, I am a mum. And I'm proud of the fact that I created and grew life for that length of time. If you choose not to take that because of your circumstances, then that's your right too. But why are we using the term mum to be? Because we are dismissing that role, that right for all of the women that never got to physically give birth in the physical world to a child, whatever the circumstances. We're trying to say you weren't a mum, and yet we were, we are doing the most important role ever in creating life in our wombs. So I am a mum of 4. 2 beautiful earth babies, 2 beautiful angel babies. And if you have experienced that and want that role, then please know that you are a mum. I hope this brings some comfort.